Ben, we're going to talk about some academy players who've been out on loan recently, but before we get to that, I thought we'd just touch on the last game. We had Brooklyn Olunga, Callum Tripp and Charlie Waller all in the matchday squad for you in the academy. That must be fantastic.
Yeah, it was great. It's the first time since I've been here for a league fixture that we've had that many boys in the squad. We've obviously had the successes of the EFL Trophy, the FA Cup and some of the other league fixtures with some smaller numbers in the squad, but that was really good to see, and it gives everyone in the academy a boost.
Absolutely, and I think we're going to talk about a couple of the other lads who've been on loan, but Charlie, of course, just coming back from Sutton, and I think that was a really successful learning experience for him.
I think the whole process has been good for Charlie. He's had some good loans, and he's had some loans that he's found challenging, which is what the loan process is there for. It's not always to be easy. And Charlie's shown a huge amount of resilience, humility when he's come back from a loan and he's come back and played for the academy rather than going straight back out on another loan. He's acted with complete professionalism, and that's kind of what you want as a member of staff, and it's what you want to demonstrate to the younger players that are coming through the academy as well. The loan process is there to develop young people and give them experiences that we can't give in the academy. So things like 3 o'clock kickoff, a 7:45 kickoff on a Tuesday, the preparation that you need in order to go and introduce yourself to a new group of people, your new teammates.
Seb, good to speak to you. We're going to talk a little bit about loan moves today and how useful they can be for young players. You know plenty about it. You've had a lot of loans. At Hitchin Town at the minute, how are you finding that?
Yeah, I think it's really enjoyable. Hitchin is a good level of football, and there's a good fan base there as well. Every game there's pressure. Every game there's something to learn as well. It's just everywhere I've been to Dunstable, Biggleswade, St Neots, Hitchin now, Potters Bar. They're all just different experiences, different ways of playing football, and it's just really a learning experience. Everyone's in different situations, and it's just adapting to new groups.
Exactly that, and I think it gives you an opportunity to learn something that you can't necessarily get from an academy game because there's that pressure that you've just spoken about.
Yeah, there's pressure from the fans. It's like all the other players there. It's they work for it. It's like they get their little bit of some money from it. Everyone kind of works for it. They all have the same goal, and it means stuff to them. So it's like when you're playing in the academy, the sole goal is like developing, and obviously you want to win, but the goal is developing you. Whereas when you go out on loan, there's a pressure on you from the fans, from the opposition. There's always like people in the crowd giving stick. It's like learning to deal with all of that, all the different factors of football that you don't really think about when you're playing in the academy. And then when you go out on loan, it's just really an enjoyable experience, really, I find.
Keon, I think the last time we sat down and spoke was in Germany, which feels like a million years ago now. How have you been since then?
Yeah, it's been really good, thank you. Playing loads of matches, getting loads of minutes in the tank, and just getting a few assists here and there as well. It's been good, thanks. Which
is great. I know you've had your experiences training with the first team and being in around a first team environment, but we're going to talk about some of your loans today. How useful have you found it, sort of stepping out of your comfort zone and going away from the academy to go and experience some of these loans and play senior football? Well, my first loan was at Banbury. That was in step 3, and you can see the difference between academy and loan matches because we're playing against big men, and then it's really difficult as well because the physicality of the game it increases because you're playing against older people rather than the academy you're playing against people around your age. But I found it very, very good. A quick mention, I think, for AFC Dunstable. Obviously, you've had Keon there, but Albert as well, and that must be really great to have the two going out and having that experience together. Yeah, last year AFC Dunstable also had Seb Stacey, who's now at Hitchin. They had Charlie Sterland, who's had some time at Oxford City this year. He got injured. We've got a nice link with AFC Dunstable, as we have with many local clubs that support the development of what we're trying to do. And I think that's on the merit of, one, the staff at the academy that are developing these young people into players that can go out and deliver in another environment. But it's also credit to the players and their resilience, their humility, and their ability to go and give everything to another group of people that they don't necessarily know, and they have to earn that right. We don't necessarily send them there to start every game. That's the learning. They're used to starting and playing every game with the under-18s.
they're not used to being a substitute. They're not used to having that responsibility of coming on and having an important role in the team. They're not used to maybe not playing a full 90. They'll come off after 65, 70 minutes. There's learning in that as well. So the outcomes that we get and the players get are pretty strong.
And for you as a keeper, personally, you must feel that you're getting better and improving all the time, and it gives you an opportunity to put that into practice.
Yeah, I think there's certain parts of your game as a goalie that you can't really develop in training as much. Like, you can always practice it, but the match realistic situations are always like where you gain the most experience. I think any loan experience really is a positive. Like, it opens up your eyes to what football's actually like. Like, you're always here training, but like parts, for example, like crossing, it's like you don't really get that real exposure. Like, you can do crossing drills, but in a game there's that aspect of physicality that you can't exactly replicate, and the decision making side of it is all just different components that you just kind of learn.
Yeah. And I know that you're in regular contact with the academy and Ben Smith, but even the likes of Steve Hale, the goalkeeper coach here. How often are you in touch with the first team?
So I train with them every day. I'm in with them. My program is I'll train with them like during the day, and then I'll train with my loan teams in the evening. So they train on a Tuesday, Thursday, and I'll go and train with them in the evenings. So I build up that relationship, and then I'll come in during the day and train with the first team with Steve and being in around the group. And it's just really positive because I can get the repetitions and the practice while I'm here, and then when I go out and learn, I'm getting the match experience.
Well, what's it been like going out to some non-league teams and sort of having to go a bit old school with it?
Well, sometimes they play like long ball, but that just prepares you because sometimes in the match, like if you're defending like in the last minute, the team usually plays like long passes, so you have to defend that, and just like claiming your headers, winning your physical battles, the 1v1 duels, it all prepares you for that.
And then you've been at AFC Dunstable more recently, Keon. How have you found that experience playing alongside Albert Wood, which is always nice as well?
Yeah, I found it very good because he was playing right back and I was playing on the right side of midfield as well, so we had good connections there, and I found it very good at Dunstable because all of the players were very good with us and we were able to blend in very quickly, and in our first game we won as well.
Which is great. But you've touched on something there. It's not always just about the football, is it? It's about settling in, getting to work with other professionals, and it sounds like you've had that experience.
Yeah, because when you go and learn, the first thing you do is like know the type of players you're playing with, and then when you're with a good group, then you'll bond more on the pitch, and then that'll just be better for the end results.
And I think it's safe to say that the academy's in a really strong place, and reputationally, we're getting approached for these players now. You're not having to shop them around. You're being regularly approached and asked for your lads to come and get involved.
Yeah, and that's a huge benefit to the club, to the staff, and to the players that the reputation is there. We did over 150 appearances in non-league last year with 17 and 18-year-olds. We've already surpassed that this year. We've already got more young lads out on loan this year from step 1 to 5. So the reputation's there. We need to keep on growing it. We need to keep on, getting good results. But that's the positive side of it. And
it's only going to be more important, isn't it? I know we've had successes with the first team this year, and Callum Tripp getting a lot of minutes this season, but there's no shying away from the fact that it's a very big squad for the first team, and these loan opportunities for your guys are going to be so important.
Yeah, and we're not expecting players to get into the team by the time they're 18. If they do, great, that's fantastic. But it's a long career if you can get to 30, 31, so we're not worried if they don't get in the team until they're Charlie Waller at 20 years old or Callum Tripp at 19 years old. They're the things that we're kind of okay with. The loan programme allows them to go and get these experiences. We have an accelerated pathway. By the 18s going out on loan now in their second year of their scholarship, it allows all the first years to play loads and loads of games in the Youth Alliance League. It now allows us to bring the 16s up to play with them in that league. The 15s go up, the 14s go up. So everyone gets that opportunity to be tested, and that's where you see, people really thrive.
Of course, I think there's plenty to be positive about there. And I suppose finally, looking ahead to the back end of the season, what would be a really successful season for you and for the MK Dons Academy?
A good season for us is going to be trying to get some professional contracts offered again. We had 5 offered last year, which was a lot for the club. We've not really offered 5 in a long time. So to try and mirror that or try and surpass that would be great. We're in the Berks and Bucks County Cup. It's an opportunity to bring all the lads that have gone out on loan back into our team and to see how they can do in that competition, which is a challenge because we play against some really good teams. And that's kind of what we're going to go after this year.
Fantastic, Ben. Really appreciate you taking the time today.
Cheers, John.
Yeah, and I suppose what's next for you? Maybe another loan spell this season, do you think?
Yeah, hopefully another loan spell or first team, just whatever comes in my way, and I'll just try to attack it.
Fantastic. Well, great to catch up, Keon. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
And then I suppose finally, Seb, what's a successful season for you come the end of the year? Do you want to go out and have more experiences on loan? Where do you see yourself?
A successful season for me is just carrying on playing. I want to carry on playing at the best level I can. In terms of at Hitchin, we're in a position where we're trying to stay up and like get points on the board because it's been a rough period of time. So hopefully we can like do well there. And just in terms of everything, just carry on playing, carry on developing, like the way that I hope I am.
Brilliant. Seb, thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, no worries.